One of the trail post markers, PCT. And up there, there's a truck for volunteers to maintain the trail. Imagine being the first guy that ever did this trail back in 1980. I want to say 7. May have been a little before that. Eric Rayburn, I believe. I'll put it in the details. I read the book years ago. He was 18 years old, and he did this trail completely by himself. Before this trail existed, it was only established on paper. All the way from Canada, down through Washington, Oregon, Northern California, all the way down, all the way through those San Gabriels, over and through all of this, down through Gorgonio, San Diego, down into Mexico. I forget how many miles, 2,100. I'll put all the information in the details. It's hard to imagine though, being 18 and doing all this in states that you've never even been in, and walking through map and compass. You gotta hand it to the guy. Then you got Jardine, the guy who did the whole thing in like right under 3 months. It's amazing. Okay, we're back here pretty far. We're probably about halfway, but unfortunately we don't have a shuttle. We're gonna run out of daylight. Our car's parked down there by the 15, so we're gonna have to turn back and come back in 2 weeks, provided there's no snow. Parked by Silverwood. We'll come back to this point. We'll know we're at this point when we get to this sign here. But look, you can see where this trail goes. You can see where it crosses the 15 here, and you can see where it climbs up there. It's climbing up the east side of Lytle Creek, goes up to the ridge, goes back, passes Guffey, passes the Big Pine Station, passes Snow Valley or whatever that is back there. Okay, the trail crosses the road right there and continues on, but you can see where over the years maybe hundreds of people have come down here, taking this down. This must be like the Motel 6. This must just be the perfect place to crash at night. We're gonna go down here and fix herself lunch. She's gonna practice on her tarp setup. Go ahead and set it up.
Okay.
Super windy. Here's what you can do with an 8x10 tarp and 2 trekking poles with some guy lines. And you will need sticks, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, maybe 8 to 10 stakes. But you can make it totally windproof, waterproof. So you've got this overhang, so no rain's going to get inside. You can close this up here. Peg off the second one, not the first loop, the second one. Bring this in. You can also tie this if needed. How much room's in there? Let's see. Enough room for two people, 2 bags, 2 pads, and 2 packs very easily. 3 if absolutely in an emergency necessary. We set it up upside down. Usually it has a loop here. You can tie this to a tree if necessary. But the other side, same thing. Use some line, bring these together, stake them out with a stick, like I did down there. And to the guy that always says no ground cloth, this is the ground cloth I use. Equinox, made in the USA. Ryback, Campmore, $14.95. Throw it through the wash. Don't need any soap. Just put cold water, run it through the wash, and it'll dry by itself. You don't need to dry it, and it turns out like leather. It's awesome. This one here is, I believe, 5 or 6 years old. So there's the 8x10 tarp setup. Get out of the wind, have some lunch back here. I think she thinks we're spending the night. But here's the little canyon or valley that we are in right now. We're almost back to the river. Not bad for, I believe that tarp's 15 ounces. 15 ounce 3-man tent, tarp, shelter. I have one trekking pole with me, and then I use hers. Otherwise, it would have been more tension. That's the most the kids' trekking poles go up. I have mine up an additional 6 to 7 inches, maybe 8 inches. Make more headroom. So. Don't go to sleep in there. That big old tarp, big old tent, tarp tent. One little package. Looks like it's about 4 by maybe 10. Very light. You can get great deals on this. If anybody's interested, I can look up and find the website I get my stuff from. It's like sometimes less than 50%, up to 70% off of what this company sells for. They raise them, they grow big over here. Over there in Ice House Canyon, there are a lot of them. They don't get that big. Look how neat this canyon is. Little places down here next to the river in the summertime and stuff. Where you can set up your tent, camp right next to the river. There are a few places, not too many, where you could set up a hammock. But it's only, like I say, it's only just under 14 miles stretch between Silverwood and 15. So you could come back here in that 14 miles like an overnighter, go about halfway, find a nice cool place. So I was talking about this place where you could put up your tents. There's some trees you can put a hammock. Really neat, you know. Set up your little tarp right there by the river, out of the wind, sleep. You'd never even know this was here, driving by on the freeway, unless you looked at a map or read some books on the area. There's a lot of little places like this, tucked just out of sight. On this hike, I think I saw 2 old rusted cans, maybe 1 piece of paper, a piece of ribbon. I mean, this is a clean trail. This is well maintained. This is where your dollars for that wilderness pass go to. Things like this. This is one of the cleanest, most well-maintained trails I've walked. This stretch of the PCT. No trash, no graffiti, knock on wood. So for you, those of you who complain about paying $5 for the day, things like this is where your $5 are going. Quit moaning and groaning, accept it. Just don't be so cheap. Buy the $30 a year one, and at the same time have a friend with you, you can buy the second vehicle pass for $5, bringing you down to about, what's that, $17.50 a piece for the entire year versus $5 a day. Okay, when you come out back down, you got these posts here that tell you don't go in the stream. There's bullfrogs, western toads. Toads are rare. Underwater creatures depend on the plants too. Rainbow trout shows what kind of birds. Wildlife habitat. But look up here, PCT. You got McDonald's half a mile, less than half a mile up this road. That's the McDonald's that you see off to the right when you turn off 15 going north. You turn off to go to Silverwood, you go right. To go to Rightwood, you go left. You got the Mormon Rocks just ahead of you. But look at that, Guffey. That's Guffey Camp. That's up there at the head of Lytle Creek waters. Way back there by the Big Pine Station. On my last video, or second to my last video, something like that, I started off at the Big Pine Station. And Guffey is close to that, 22 miles. We're going to take you down through this tunnel and show you where the trail picks up, and then we're done. Look at this, the trail actually goes underneath the 15 freeway through this storm drain. Okay, look at this. PCT. Go through a tunnel. Come on, Jeannie. Temple of Doom. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. I gotta boost you up and you gotta go in there.
Bro, another one over there.
Dun, 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 dun. We're in a tunnel, and guess what that is, guys? Yeah, a river runs through. In every video, the river runs through. Watch your foot, Jeannie. It's wet right there. See where the trail picks up. This stuff here is a water crest. It grows all over my Mount Baldy. It's actually edible. It tastes like peppery, like a salad with pepper on it. It's not bad. Okay, sometimes you come to part of the trail and the trail divides all kinds of which ways. You don't know where it goes. But a lot of times you step back, you sit back and relax for a while and look around. You look up to the faded thing for the PCT. And over yonder on the Mason, there's another one. Okay guys, this is my turning point. There's the 15 freeway. That way's southbound. This way's going up the Cone Pass. You follow this trail back here, and there's the mark pole. The old familiar Pacific Crest Trail. It goes up and over this hill into that mountain and follows that, see that? Follows that ridge line where those pines are. Follows that all the way through the San Gabriel. Cuts down, crosses by Windy Gap a little bit past that. Over there on the Little Jimmy side, other side of the two for ways. Then cuts back and forth, snakes back and forth across the two before leaving the San Gabriels. But my daughter's bushed. We've probably done, I'd say, 6-7 miles in, 6-7 miles out, and then another mile past on the other side. I didn't see this on the way in. There is a little bit of graffiti. Look at this. Canada, that way. Mexico, that way. Shows you we are on the Pacific Crest Trail. Anyway guys, we're back out here. Once you get a look at where we are, you'll recognize right away. And you'll say to yourself, I had no idea I was driving past that every time I went down there. McDonald's where you turn off, Over there, let's see. There's Mormon Rocks. And Santa Fe and Salt Lake Trail, 1849. Sheldon Stoddard of Stoddard Canyon. Yes, I did look it up. He is the original. There's a picture of him in the Mount Baldy book. John Brown. That'd be the guy for the one, the Brown brothers. Brown Mountain. Corbett. I think his name is on the Stoddard Canyon sign also. There's a monument. There's another one of these on Baseline, and I believe it's Euclid, with a woman and some children, pioneers that came out. It's a monument to them.
Bye, see you on the next video.
I think you've all seen them, but if you haven't, this is what the passes look like. See, I bought mine last June. It's good till this June, 2012. 30 bucks. Just make sure it's put in your window. The money that goes from this goes for maintaining the trails, helping with the rangers and planting trees and everything else. But if you guys ever want to volunteer time, the rangers will be more than happy to set you up planting trees. There's a lot of benefits with volunteering. You get to go places you never knew about.